Scope Ty Crandall here with Credit Suite. We're going to dive into 7 different reasons that you should establish business credit and 7 different ways to do it live here. I have fixed a major issue we've had. So as you guys know, we've been on Periscope here before we were ever on Facebook Live. We've been on Periscope for, I don't know, over a year now. But sometimes we have connection issues. So I bought this little cool thing here, which I'm still getting set up from Verizon, which is a booster, which should fix any connection issues that we have because now I have perfect signal here in my office. So hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. So that being said, we should have smooth sailing here in the future because I've got this little booster from Verizon, which boosts my cell signal in here to perfect, like 5 bars. So we should be good. So today we're going to be diving in for those of you that are not yet familiar with business credit or need a refresher on the different reasons you want to build business credit. And we're also going to be talking about the different ways to do it in the process. Jazzy D, welcome. Thanks for coming in. So let's jump to it because we got a ton of stuff to go over today. Different reasons to build business credit, 7 different ways to do it. So first of all, let's take a look at some of the reasons. Let's talk, I guess, about what business credit is. So we're talking about business credit here that's built for your business EIN, that's not linked to your personal Social Security. If you're not familiar with what business credit is, hey, Sam Goody, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Can the business pay? That's what we're looking at with business credit. So a lot of people don't understand with business credit why you can get credit for your EIN that's not like your social. It's simple. Business credit's based on your business's ability to pay, not the actual business owner. So when you're doing this properly, there's no personal credit check. One of the huge benefits of business credit. So why would you want to build business credit? Well, first of all, working for you LLC. Thank you so much for the super hearts. That's awesome. So first reason is you're separating business credit from personal credit. Okay, your personal assets, I should say, are not touched even for a bankruptcy. Okay, so hey, Christine, thanks for coming in. I love your Periscope picture. That's awesome. And thank you guys for the hearts and the super hearts. So we're separating liability here. This is why SBA, NASDAQ, that's why all these guys say you want to build business credit, because you're separating your business credit from your personal credit, which also separates your liability. You're not liable for business credit if it's in your business name and if you've chosen the right entity, which we'll talk about later. Another reason that you want to build business credit is because using personal cards for business purposes really hurts your utilization, okay? So that being said, thanks Photoshop, that's awesome. So again, when we look at the consumer FICO score here, guys, the FICO score, most of it's your payment history, 35% is the biggest percentage, 30% is utilization, which means that what you put as balances on credit cards is equally equivalent to your score as basically your payment history, how you pay your bills. So it's a big deal. So if you get business accounts that report on your consumer credit report, then as you utilize them, as you increase the balances, you really adversely affect your score because 30% of your credit score is based on that. So another reason you want to build business credit is that using these personal cards for businesses really hurts that utilization. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate that. And that basically, again, keeps the balances off the personal credit report. So the utilization of 30%, etc. doesn't even matter. Another reason you want to build business credit is because you want to start credit history before you actually need it. Okay, the longer you have it, the better score you can establish. One of the biggest, and thank you guys, thanks for going crazy on the shares, the hearts, the super hearts, the content communication between each other. I love it. So the problem here is that most people wait to get money until they need it. Then the issue is that when they need it, banks won't lend because they know they're desperate. Christine says, got a $50,000 PNC Bank on second business just for having the $100,000 for the trucking. So you got $50,000 with PNC after 100. And Christine, let us know, did you provide a personal credit check or a guarantee for the 50 or 100? A lot of people don't know that you can even do that with PNC, so I am curious to know if you could type that in. So you want to get money before you need it. No guarantee and no credit check. That's phenomenal. So you want to start building business credit before you need it. You want to get all money before you need it. Guys, this is a process. What I'm going to show you today, the process to build this takes time. So you don't want to wait till you need money, then it's going to be too late. Okay, so it's very important that you do that. Okay, so that being said, you also want to make sure, brings me to number 4, you're preparing for lean times. Be prepared. Majority of businesses fail because they're not financially prepared for unexpected things that come up. This is especially vital if you're a seasonal business. So you want to go ahead and access money before you need it to prepare for possibly rough times, because you're going to have a lot of things that are going to happen in your business you're not going to expect. Number 5 reason, EIN equals a legitimate business. When you're talking about having a real business per the IRS, getting the EIN number is what sets you up as legitimate per the IRS, and having business credit is what sets you up as being legitimate per the reporting agencies Experian, Equifax, and DNB. So that being said, trade credit also helps you. This helps you build your business credit profile and score, makes you more lendable, but keep in mind, everybody can see your business credit report. So by coming in and building trade credit, you look more reputable for suppliers, for lenders, for credit issuers, for potential customers, for anybody that wants to build that business credit. Which brings me to number 7. Eventually, you're going to get bank loans quicker with better terms. Business credit in large part is based on, or bank loans and credit lines in large part are based on your ability to have well-established business credit. If you have business credit, you're going to get more loans faster with better terms because they're all making decisions based on your business credit. Okay, and another thing, payment history affects business credit scores most. So what this means is if you follow the steps I'm going to teach you today, guys, you can establish some payments, pay as agreed, and since payment history is mostly what affects your business credit scores, it's really fast and easy to get good scores. Now, of course, those are just some of the things, right? Per SBA, the limits on business credit accounts are 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit. So Christine just told us she got a $50,000 and $100,000 PNC without a personal guarantee or a personal credit check. Hey, Christine, if you have a copy of those approvals, if you don't mind, email those to me. I'd love to actually white out any of your information and use them. But you can see how high these limits are. $5, $10, $20, $15, $30, $40,000 limits in about 6 months' time. So you're going to get very fast and very high limits very quickly with business credit, or high limits very quickly. You don't need to provide a social. There's no consumer credit check. It won't affect your FICO. We talked about the utilization part of FICO. Thanks, Christine. I appreciate it. You don't have accounts reporting on your consumer report, so you don't adversely affect your utilization. But you're also not putting inquiries on your credit report, which affect 10% of your score. So you're saving 40% of your score, utilization and inquiries, just by building business credit and leaving your consumer credit alone as you're establishing money for your business. It's fast to build, regardless of personal credit quality. Personal credit doesn't matter, and it's really quick to build if you follow the steps I'm going to show you today. Congratulations, 3,400. You're getting up there. That's great. All big businesses have it as well. Every privately owned and publicly owned company that's big in this country has it. You have to have business credit to really be a well-established business. And again, there's no reason to risk your personal assets with a personal guarantee if you don't need to. The PNC option card can be used for startups as well without a PG. That's awesome. That's great. Great job, Christine. Congratulations on the 2 new PNC accounts, one for 50, one for 100. So a lot of reasons here, guys, to build business credit. There's just so many reasons that this makes sense. So there's some things to keep in mind. Business credit's not automatic. It's easier and faster than building consumer credit, but it doesn't happen just because you have an EIN. A lot of people think just because you have an EIN that it's automatic, and that's not the case. Okay, the second thing. You need to make sure you follow the steps in order, which I'm going to show you. You will get turned down if you don't follow the steps. So let's get to the steps. Let's talk about the ways to build business credit through the process of basically 7 different steps. So the very first thing, you have to make sure that your business is set up credibly. You need to get a professional website if you don't have one now. You need to get a professional email. Don't use Yahoo. Don't use Google. Get something like ours is info@creditsuite.com, so get a professional email, okay? Now, you also want to get a business phone number, not a mobile or a cell phone ever. Never use those on a business application for credit. And make sure you get a toll-free number. You should also have a fax number, too, on the applications that ask for it. And very important, get your phone number listed with 411. A lot of these initial vendors I'm going to talk about soon only require an EIN and only require a 411 listing, so you have to have both of those. Okay. That being said, business bank account. You need to have one set up. A lot of them aren't going to ask for your bank account. They're going to ask you for bank references, which is why you need it. Okay. And you also need to make sure you have the proper licenses as well. So you need to make sure if you have any licenses in your state, county, or industry that you get those. You also really need to make sure that everything online matches exactly the same. So the name you put on the application is the same as what's on the bank account. It's the same as what's on the Secretary of State records. It needs to perfectly match. Business name, address, phone. Guys, this is one of the biggest reasons that people get pulled. Okay, it's somebody saying, no, I can't cite, I can't pull business credit reports. We no longer have that ability with Experian because Experian doesn't really deal with anybody in the credit industry, so we don't have the ability to do that. But you can go to creditsafe.com and they will give you a free report, or just call us and we can actually pull a report for you. Also, keep in mind, you can go to creditsuite.com/monitoring now. It doesn't even need to be business credit monitoring. It can just be creditsuite.com/monitoring. And you can get DMB and Experian monitoring for only $24 now using that link. So set up your business credibly. Everything you put on an application should reflect that your business is credible. This is so crucial to getting a loan or any kind of business credit. Now next, choose your business entity. This is done with your Secretary of State. You don't need a legal Zoom. Guys, thanks for the loves and thanks for the shares. And say I had no problem. Okay, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. So choose your entity. Try a corporation or an LLC is what you want to choose when you set up your business, because then you can separate your business and personal liability. Get your EIN number. It's free. You can go to irs.gov to get it. Now remember, don't be a sole proprietor, okay? Don't be a partnership. Then you are the business and you'll always be liable for what happens. So you want to get a separate business name. No personal liability for the business debts. That's what happens when you choose an LLC or a corporation, okay? You also have a reduced risk of an IRS audit. It's like 5 times more likely as a sole proprietorship to get audited. So choose a corporation or LLC, okay? So a lot of reasons to do it. Get an EIN, choose a corporation preferably. You could choose an LLC, which the IRS doesn't really designate as an entity, but you could choose that as well. So you've set up your business credibly. You got your EIN. You chose your entity. Now we're to number 3. Are you on DMB's site? Does Experian, Equifax, or DMB know you exist now? We'll check for free right here. creditsuite.com/reports. Okay, the reason you want to check is that the reporting agencies will give you a failing credit score even if you have no credit. So you need to check and make sure that they don't have anything reporting for you now. You can do it for free. creditsuite.com/reports. There's a link to DMB, Experian, and Equifax. You also want to go to DMB and get your free DUNS number. Yes, it's free. Don't feel like you have to charge them. They'll try to convince you do, but you can get your DUNS number without paying, even though they'll call and email and try to actually sell you. So kind of to recap here. Set up your business credibly. Website, email, phone number, fax number, 411, bank account, licensing you need. All your listings online are congruent. Get your business EIN. Get your business entity set up. Do a free search to see if the reporting agencies know you exist. If so, probably makes sense to get credit monitoring to make sure that nothing inaccurate is there, that you don't have failing score, which again, you'll be issued failing score even if you have no credit, and get your DUNS number. Brings me to step 4. Start getting real business credit. Now this is a way to do it. It's called trade credit. I'm going to talk about another way here as well. These are creditors or credit issuers that will give you terms like net 30. So hey, welcome. First day on Periscope. I wish, let me see, Fliftable. I don't know. I love the name. So these are starter vendors, for example. Uline, Quill. They're usually going to give you $200 to $1,500 kind of limits, just so you know. I started this segment, but no one reported on my credit report yet. Well, keep in mind that some of these take longer than others to report. Some of them, like Quill, you have to spend $50 or more and take 90 days. Also keep in mind, with Dun & Bradstreet, you have to have 3 accounts reporting before they'll populate a report and score. So just some things to keep in mind. Okay, so you got to get some trade vendors. Uline, Quill, we'll talk about some of these. You need about 5 to move on to the next step. What's the rule of thumb on generic naming? I think it's okay. I think it's a drawback and it's a positive. Having a generic name doesn't tell potential customers what you do, but if you're in a high-risk industry, it makes sense because it won't automatically get you denied. Okay, so that could go a couple different ways. So you need about 5 of these to be able to get to the next step. Now, Ms. Busy, welcome. I think it's the first time I've seen you here. I'm starting a small business. Was told business credit was not for my type of business. Business credit works for every kind of business. It doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, this works. Every business has a credit profile linked to its EIN, not its social, no matter your industry or entity. So everything I'm going through here today will actually work for you no matter what business you're in. And a lot of the people following here will tell you the same thing. So you need 5 of these kind of vendors before you move to the next step. Okay, you may have to actually apply more than once. So companies like Uline and Quill may not approve you right away. You might have to apply once or twice or even 3 times before they'll approve you. Some things to keep in mind. So here's some real starter vendors. Uline, they sell shipping supplies. Quill sells office supplies, over 1 million items, a bunch of stuff you can get here. Monopolize your marketplace, okay? Now, some of these will need your DUNS before you even apply. That's why I walk you through these steps. Set up your business credibly, EIN and entity, get your DUNS. Then apply, because some of these will require that. So you need about 5 of these type of accounts. Uline, Quill, Monopolize Your Marketplace, a few really good ones to look into. Here's kind of a bonus one. There's some vendors that don't report that can still help you because they can be used as trade references, which is on some of these guys' applications. That can include Sprint, AT&T, Verizon. So use some of these guys as trade references even if you find credit issuers that don't report. Next, you're going to want to monitor your business credit report. As somebody just said, I started in December. I started to get these accounts. Well, now you've got to monitor your business credit reports to make sure these accounts are reporting. And if there's anything on your credit reports negative, you need to fix any errors. So you mostly want to, and Stu's gone. Welcome, man. First day on Periscope. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us. So you want to make sure that you monitor your business credit at this point. You've already got some accounts reporting. Now we need to make sure these accounts are on your credit report and fix any errors you have, okay? We mostly recommend Experian and DMB monitoring. Equifax isn't a big deal, but you should choose these too, okay? You can use NAV. We also work with NAV Direct, even cheaper than NAV. You can go to creditsuite.com/monitoring. You don't even need to type in the business credit now. We made it short. creditsuite.com/monitoring. And that will actually get you $24 a month with Experian and DMB. To give you an idea, DMB charges $159 a month, Experian's $50. If you go to them direct, it's $210 a month for monitoring. It's 90% cheaper if you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring. You get DMB and Experian for $24. Makes it affordable to do. That brings me to number 6. So let's look. We set up the business credibly. We got the EIN. We set up the entity. We did a free search right here to see if they knew anything about us. We got our DUNS number. We came in and we got about 5 vendors, Uline, Quill, Monopolize Your Marketplace, places that report to the reporting agencies and that will approve you even as a startup. Okay? Remember, if they don't report, you can still use some of them as trade references when you do apply for companies that can report. Now you went to creditsuite.com/monitoring to get monitoring to see if you have any errors that need to be fixed, and so you can see these accounts start to report on your actual reports. I have Experian for $80 per year. Have to get my link again. Yeah, that's great. Well, that's $80 a year. That's pretty good. Depends on, they have a limited service, but it only gives you updates. It doesn't give you the full reports. But that's not bad if you're spending $80 a year. That's pretty good. So next thing, once you have 5 accounts reporting, 5 to 8, then you can start to get revolving accounts with most major retailers. I'll show you some of those. And with 8 to 10, you can start to get fleet credit. With about 14 accounts, you can start to get Visa cards, MasterCards. Like Christina's talking about, she just got a $50,000 and $100,000 PNC without a guarantee. So let's look at some of these accounts, and let's look at the time frame you can build them. These are starters. You can get these kind of guys right away. Office Depot has a starter account too, but it's a net account, not revolving. Grainger is a net account. Seton no longer reports. So these first 4 could work as your first vendor accounts. Okay, again, Office Depot will work as a vendor, but they'll only give you a net term, like a net 55 term, which gives you 55 days to pay them off. Then, when you get about 5 accounts, you start to get Apple and Chevron and Amazon. When you start to get the 5 to 8 accounts, you start to get fleet credit cards like Fuelman Fleet you can use for fuel and auto vehicle repairs and maintenance. With 5 accounts plus, you can start to get Shell and Exxon and Costco, 5 to 10 range. Then you start to get to cash credit. You start to get to the Bank of America, the Visas. You start to get to PNC Bank and Chase. 20, 100,000, 11,000. Okay, this was a cash credit card here for 7,000. So that's really what we're looking at, is that you're getting this kind of credit right away, vendor credit, Uline, Quill, Office Depot, Grainger. Then once these start to report, then you start to get Apple, Chevron, Amazon. You'll start to get fleet credit cards. Then you'll start to get cash credit cards. BJ's is one, Bank of America, Visa here, PNC, Chase. These are all cash credit cards. And with about 10 to 14, you can also get auto vehicle leasing in your name, in your business name, without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. That brings me to number 7. There is a shortcut that you can replace step 4 with, but this one requires good credit. This one anybody can get vendor credit. You don't need to have good credit. I did get pre-approved for Apple for $5,000. It was use or lose. That's awesome. Congratulations. I thought reapproved. You got 12.5 in the beginning, I think, with Apple, or maybe it wasn't. Let me know. Number 7, if you don't want to get vendors and you do have good credit or a good credit guarantor, you can do what's called unsecured business financing. This is where you're getting credit cards that you could take the cash out on, 0% rates for 6 to 18 months, normal rates after that. You could take all the cash out on it at 0%. Perfect for startups, high-risk industries, don't matter, and you can use a guarantor if you don't have a 680 score. Now, you'll typically get approved for about 5 times the amount of your highest credit revolving account. Now, yeah, 12.5. The 5 pounds for horse. Yeah, okay, cool. A great job on the second business. So 5,000 is what you're going to get about 5 times the amount of your highest limit. So if your highest credit limit that's 10 grand now, you'll get about 5 to 8 times that, which is about 50 to 80 grand through about 5 to 8 cards. But remember, they have credit line capability. You could take the cash out at 0%, which you can't do with credit lines. You're going to have pretty good personal credit. If you get a 650 score, you're only going to get cards that report on your consumer reporting agencies or report to your consumer reports. With a 680, you get the cards that report on the business credit reports. So with a 680, you or a guarantor, you can do this. It's a great option to go with. Now, again, you're going to need to have some kind of credit on your credit report now, like one credit card with a few-year history or a car, or with a $3,000 limit or some kind of auto loan. The finance source on this will charge you a fee, about 9% to 10% is what we see on average. Okay, and again, you need to have pretty low utilization to get approved in about less than 6 inquiries in the last 12 months. Once I get the vendor lines, do I have to use them every month? No, you do not have to use these vendor credit accounts. You want to use them at least once, and keep in mind your credit reports will show the recent amount of credit you've used. So if you stop using them, make sure you're using other credits so your credit report shows a lot of credit that you're using. So in summary here, ton of reasons to do it, right? Limits are super high, $30,000, $40,000 limits a few months into the process. Your personal credit's not used. No inquiries, personal credit doesn't matter. Okay. Plus, you don't have to risk your personal assets. You have no personal guarantee if you're doing this. This is why it helps you separate your business and personal credit, which is good. It helps you separate the liability. You're not affecting your personal credit because it's not affecting your utilization because it doesn't report on your consumer credit reports. You're getting credit before you need it to help you with lean times and to start building a credit history that also makes you more lendable to get loans and credit lines. And also, don't forget the EIN is what the IRS looks at as your business being legitimate. Business credit is what the reporting agencies look at to make sure you're legitimate. So, ways to do it. Simple. Build your business credibility. Before you apply for credit or loans, make sure your business is set up credibly. Get a professional website, professional email, not Yahoo, not Google. Get a phone number. Guys, thanks for the loves and thanks for the hearts and the super hearts. I love this. This is awesome. Get a phone number, not a mobile phone, not a home phone. Get a fax. Get your phone number with 411. Get a bank account. They'll ask for bank references, so you'll need it. And make sure that everything, all this information is congruent online. What the Secretary of State says is the same as the bank accounts, the same as Google. Get your EIN number. Get an entity. Probably stay away from sole proprietorship. You want to come in and get probably a corporation as the best entity. It separates you and the business's liability, and it's a great entity to start with. Next, do a free search to see if you have anything set up now at the reporting agencies with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. And get your DUNS number. It's free. Get it from DMB. A lot of these initial vendors in this next 4th step will ask for it. Next, get some starter accounts and buy some stuff and go upon checkout to the Invoice Me option. Uline, Quill, monopolize your marketplace. We even talked about Home Depot. These are vendors that will give you credit even when you have none and report it to the reporting agencies. Don't provide your social security number. A lot of them won't ask, but if so, don't provide it, even if you have to fax the app in or call them. Don't forget, some vendors don't report. Sprint, AT&T, but they can still be used as trade references to get approved for the ones that do report. You're going to need to monitor your business credit. You need to make sure you have these accounts reporting, because everything else that happens is how many accounts you have reporting. Well, you're not going to know how many accounts unless you're monitoring your business credit. You could pay $210 a month to Experian or D&B, or use creditsuite.com/monitoring for a $24 link with them. Next, start getting real accounts. 5 to 8 accounts on your credit report will get you revolving credit with places like Costco, Amazon, Staples, etc. 8 to 10 will get you fleet credit for auto vehicle repairs, maintenance, etc. 10 to 14 will get you Visa cards, MasterCards. Again, here's a running tally of people that follow us here on Periscope and the actual results that they're getting. Christine just notified us that she just got a $50,000 PNC account on top of her $100,000 PNC. So it gives you an idea. Is a corporation still the best option even with new tax law coming into effect? Yes, it is. I strongly believe in it. As a small business, use an S Corp. As a bigger business, use a C Corp for a lot of different reasons. I just covered this on a YouTube video that we just talked about best entity and names to choose. It's worth checking out. Go to youtube.com/credit suite. It's worth checking it out. I dive into the entities to choose. Where am I at here? The entity to choose. And I also dive into the names to choose your business. I've had questions about both names and entities during the scope. Go to youtube.com/credit suite. You'll find my most recent video yesterday, that covers entity and covers names to choose. No problem working for you, LLC. Appreciate it. So monitor your business credit now. $24 a month. creditsuite.com/monitoring. Thank you. I'm glad this is helpful, but it's only helpful if you take action. You're seeing these people come in that are taking action and the results they're getting, guys, so you know it works. 5 to 8 accounts get you revolving credit. I showed you this. And then step 7, if you do have good credit or a guarantor with good credit, then get in touch with us on this program. You get 0% rates, 5 to 8 cards, as long as you have a 680 or your guarantor has a 680. And this will give you credit lines you can use, 5 to 8 of them, up to 150 grand, even as a startup at 0%. That can also report to the business reporting agencies, business reporting agencies, and that takes the place of this and puts initial credit on your business credit report. A lot of stuff we covered. That's like 3/4 of my chalkboard there. So good. A few more things in the works. Great. Christine, keep me involved. I love hearing what you got going on. Good evening. Lady cab driver in Arizona. Good evening. We talk about Sunday evening. It's daytime here. It's even earlier there. But hello. Good day. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to wrap up for today. So we should be getting good signal. We shouldn't have any drop-off problems anymore with this booster I got in here. So hopefully that worked well for you today. And in the weeks to come, we're going to be talking more about business credit. We're going to talk about where the business credit reporting agencies get their data. We're going to be talking about critical factors that affect your credit worthiness. We're even going to be talking about pitfalls to choose your entity name, all those type of topics in the days to come. So remember, we are live here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern. If you haven't already, like us on Periscope, and you'll get notified when we go live every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And all we talk about, for the most part, is how to get money for your business, using business credit, using loans, using credit lines. We talk about credit. We talk about everything you need to know about setting up your business legitimately, getting your business name, all those type of things. I missed you too, lady cab driver. It's nice to have you back. Thanks for coming back in. So I appreciate all the loves. You guys went crazy with the loves today. Thank you very much for the people that are first down Periscope and spent with us. We really appreciate it. Make sure you like and follow, and you will see us back here Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern. Congratulations to everybody that typed in their approvals they're getting. I'm so proud of all you. Great job, Christine, on your $50,000 PNC approval as well. Everybody, take care. I'll see you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern here on Periscope. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.